is Sunday, July 14th, 2024, and I wanted to read a part of an article that is very relevant for everybody that is subscribed to this channel and anybody that is going through targeting, voice to skull, directed energy, any of your friends or family members that you've talked to about this in the past, or maybe this is your first time hearing this or hearing anything or seeing anything about this. And I'm just going to get right into it. So this article is called Synthetic Telepathy and Early Mind Wars. The person that wrote this article, his name is Richard Alan Miller. It was published in 2001. And I'm going to hop to the section that says Pulsed Microwave Technology. Pulsed microwave voice to skull or other sound to skull transmission was discovered during World War II by radar technicians who found that they could hear the buzz of the train of pulses being transmitted by radar equipment they were working on. So that's going to be artificial tinnitus, and I can promise that buzzing you're hearing, that ringing you're hearing, is a beam or a train, a continuous pulsing of radio frequency energy that is creating a stress wave, a pressure wave on your head that is then heard as audible sound. So it's a DC current, it's a literal radio frequency, electricity, DC current, all at the same time. It's all of those things. It's also a beam of electrons, and it's shot directly at our heads. And the phenomenon that occurs was studied in depth in the 1960s to the 1970s, and they understood what it was and were using it as a weapon in the 80s and 90s. And now it's a whole different part of the plan, which is the social engineering that's occurring in the late 90s, early 2000s to where we are now. So this was known about, it's been perfected, and it's capable to be done as low as about 100 megahertz, while radar do is something that's possible at about 1 megahertz. So that's something to keep in mind, is that from 1 megahertz all the way into the gigahertz range, you've got do pulses and capability for V2K transmissions. Now, it's not a coincidence that that's a range of radio frequencies that Wi-Fi units operate, that's in every single house in America, and cell phones operate at, is something that's within that range of voice to skull communication. So I'm going to get back to this. It says, what Dr. Alan Frey found was that single pulses of microwave could be heard by some people as pops or clicks, and that's how I'm communicated to with voice to skull or microwave auditory effect. Is you hear it when I put my hand on my speaker here, and I'll show a video, is that it comes in as clicks and pulses of electronic sound that is modulated into radio frequencies and shot at us as discrete communication. And it says, while a train of uniform pulses could be heard as a buzz. Once again, that's going to be our artificial tinnitus. So Dr. Frey also found that a wide range of frequencies, as low as 125 megahertz, which is well below microwave range, worked for some combination of pulse power and pulse width. Detailed unclassified studies mapped out those frequencies and pulse characteristics, which are optimum for generation of microwave hearing. And something that's extremely important that Ana Maria has recently posted is that the power levels that are federally legal in the United States are completely out of touch with reality, or they're structured on purpose in such a way to enable and allow this type of harassment, surveillance, and communication to occur. This very next passage says, very significantly when discussing electronic mind control is that the fact that the peak pulse power required is modest, something like 0.3 watts per square centimeter of skull surface, and that this power level is only applied or needed for a very small percentage of each pulse's cycle time. 0.3 watts per centimeter squared is about what you get under a 250 watt heat lamp at a distance of 1 meter, which is not a lot of power. and I've got a multimeter in front of me, and I can show you that putting these two leads on my forehead, I receive a great deal of increase in power. And I guarantee to you that that's going to be the same exact threshold that checks another box, meaning that I am indeed being struck repeatedly, continuously, deliberately, as torture, as a war crime with this technology. So now, not only am I recording it in one way, not only am I recording it in another way, I'm showing it on this meter that it's happening, I'm showing it on this tool that's happening, I'm showing it on an invention of mine that's happening, showing it on another invention that is happening. At what point does your skepticism start to disappear and you start to just believe? And it's not just myself who's blessed and capable of doing this, that, and the other with blessings that were outside of my control that you get born into. Some would call it privilege. Okay? So these things are out of people's control. So I had the ability, also being a victim of this, it's in my best interest to try to get the momentum rolling socially, scientifically. Anything that I see that I could help with, that's what I've been doing. Because I want to change this. I want to stop this. So the frequencies utilized for this technology are not just a single frequency, like a TV signal or when you dial in your radio or how your cell phone typically operates. It's using a spread spectrum frequency hopping uh, modulation technique, and that's done in signal intelligence in military and communications. Military and intelligence community style communications. So that's another indicator that this is occurring. And it says, unless the receiver knows this hop schedule in advance, which is a form of demodulation or a form of decryption, there's virtually no chance of receiving or detecting a coherent, readable signal. So what I've achieved, what I've accomplished to the point where it sounds anything like human speech without knowing that hop schedule is not only a miracle, but it's amazing. And that's why I decided, instead of trying to profit off of this immediately while people suffer, I wanted to try to share this with the world. And if it reaches enough people, even while being shadow banned, that I then am able to get monetized and try to put some money back in my pockets for the money that I've put into this channel, the time that I've put into this channel, and the great morals and ethics that I've displayed this entire time, while trying to be a good motivator to inspire more social change and other things that are going to get us in a better position in the future in reference to this topic. So this article is a gold mine of wonderful information on this topic, as well as so many other different references that I've listed often. The correlation to this and nanotechnology is a 100% relationship. They're all in the same conversation. If I knew more about that, I would relay more about that. It's something where I get tidbits of information. Once I feel like that's the truth, I will relay it. There is a Substack, Dr. Ana Maria, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Mihalcea, I believe it is a very good reference as far as the nano discoveries. She's an actual doctor who's been taking slides, just like Lynn Bear has, of this nanotechnology, the self-assembling technology. And like I said, it's 100% related to mind control, to this radio frequency discrete communications infrastructure that's weaponized against us. All of it is the same conversation. And it's something that is a taboo subject that we need to break out of that mind control and continue to understand this to prevent this from being even worse. If you could take a detox bath, which I know for a fact has helped me significantly to make your life better, then I'm pretty sure everybody on the planet would try to do that. So that's one example. And as we learn more, I'll relay more. And her Substack is a very good source of information as well that's updated regularly.